akotine ebi ene se mahye bedwafo a wo mahye bedwafie e de abeto dwomo chem se wo se mampani ema eye mine no wo ma ho license ye de mu ntwemu ebebro sa enso so ana dom kese no ba no dani a wo mahye bedwafie mahama ayarega enso echemu se wo se eye MPs no so metimi enya pension pade o so mutimu bu adwuma ewo man mo anope sansem ne so ye bedomo esuko ediama ye de adwade nsem enso ebebro finance minister Dr. Kesel Atoforsin enso de nsem bi abetudwa anope ye de sansem no emuntwi mu enso ebebro ye de mu beko enigede nsem dop nation omuso ho ensem abeka yen sawa ha no pay ye de sansem we na ye de beba besomo se KFM TV news anope din a meje so ene Maame Esi Nkrumah ye gina we so na ya da ne ye ho sima abaye ba ye be hye ensem na se e de ama ebusuafo yeguso a edam ase sa no pay mu agebre ehwe KFM TV news mekoso a eka wo se anopa news etwego ewe abefo ntentam fidie no so Facebook and YouTube KFM TV je no nti obetimi akoho na wakohwe bi na wa share na wa like na wo do adwenche enso ede egu ase aman kama ye hye nsem na se ede amamode a enche bia anna eye legislative eye instrument a wo mo ewo mahye bedwafie wo mo betudwa na omo chem se ewo se eye Ghana mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ebo ne homoden ema eye forestry mining wotimi ema ho license ne be ya galamse ne wo metimi etu ewo my Ghana ha no den enye kwan bone so ne mum wo mu kitankrata ebe kyerese ane wo betimi etu galamse ewo my emone no ana endedwe abeto dwase wo mu echem se ukopie mu ewo mahye bedwafie a eye mahye bedwafo ndodo na ana wo so wo de wo support atai dwumede we echi yenti ensem bia wo mu de tu dwa ewo mahye bedwafie
March 2024 before the official opening ceremony on the 8th March 2024. We recall that Ghana had one of its worst heat waves during the tournament. The union got information about the inhuman treatment meted out to our technical crew and production team by management. On the 15th of March 2024, Friday morning, the entire production and the technical crew convened at the union office with the announcement of a boycott of the coverage of the games. The union executive then quickly reached out to our Director General, Professor Amir Hassan, and his management while they were having a meeting in the boardroom. Upon reaching the corridor of the boardroom, the production team waited while information was sent to the DG. The DG came out with seething anger at the union executive for gate crashing. The executive remained calm. The DG was asked whether there was a contract between the GBC and the government through the Ministry of Youth and Sports. DG frankly said, no, those of you who are the crew members that day. But I can say it on authority that at the time we were asking that question, the fact that I was carrying and asking the question, we had a copy of the contract. We had that copy on the 16th of February 2024, while the contract was signed on the 15th of February 2024. So a month when our colleagues were facing these difficulties, we asked our management led by DG whether there was contract. He said no. We left it there. Still, organizational image. So we kept quiet, corresponding to have the issue addressed internally. Godspeed for the workers who one nearly died during the tournament because he fainted at the Lagos campus, the Lagos Center. Then the management then extended extensive force on this.
Ebusia for ye demo air consent from anopedia, a deputy attorney general Dr. Justice Sim Sai. Wono ana wode abetijwa watchem say eye ankane eye Bank of Ghana womo governor Dr. Ernest Addison womo chese nchebia ana eye national security for ekobora eye biaya wotete say senia womde ye eye ankane oswafo a na ohwe esikasem so ewo my Ghana ha no eye Dr. Eye Ken Ofori ata womode saade ni biye no no eno ana abetodwa say ankane Bank of Ghana womo governor no national security for aboewura na sue ya nde womakotututu ne no mamu a eno ana deputy attorney general Dr. Justice Rim Sai de abetodwa wochem say saade na womo aye no eno enchre obuo ene Ghana mra no enka ho ebienu nti ewo say attorney general ejisa to bo we na wode ebo ne ho na nsem we deputy attorney general Dr. Justice Rim Sai wono ana wode etudwa yente ne nsem bia wode tudwa ewo ho.
Concerns are on two sides. There are a group of people who believe that the AG is actually being slow, and there's another group of people who are of the view that the AG is being aggressive. I mean, last night there were some searches conducted in some homes, and the views are divided. But I would like to assure the public that we are, as much as we can, pursuing persons who are believed or are suspected to have looted, state assets, being money or other properties. We are committed, and work is going on day and night for that to be done. Most importantly, we are also doing so within the framework of rule of law, because as you may know, there have been instances in the past where persons who are suspected have been arrested in manners that don't comply with the rule of law, where violation of human rights and other laws have been broken just because people are suspected. We've also witnessed instances where people have been put on trial for years without any evidence and without any conviction, without any trial, and they wake up, go to court, and they are just spending money on lawyers. We are determined, and when I say we, I mean my boss, the Attorney General. He is of the view, his policy is that he will not put anyone before any court without having sufficient evidence to prosecute the person. So the reason for the delay we are seeing, or what most of the public are seeing as delay, is that we are making sure that we get it right, we get the evidence before we put someone in court. We are not in the business, or we will not be in the business of putting people before the court and now seeking permission to go and now look for the evidence. At least we must have what we call sufficient evidence to be able to put people before criminal courts.
Council, so you're saying the searches, including the former BOG governor, was sanctioned by your office?
So the offices, there are so many. So if you look at how government works, we work with other institutions, and people submit, complaints. So, but every search that you see, is part of the government framework to fight the corruption, and we'll take responsibility for the search that are happening. And we want to make it clear that those searches and the mode in which they were done in accordance with law. Warrants were procured, and warrants were used to conduct those searches.
Ebusiafo enunti semwe ana Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Rim Sai wode to dwama oni nsɛmtwerɛfo hyiaye etwetwe nkomo ye de mo kɔ nsɛmfofo modia eye Michael Harry Yamson wono ano ye nominee Edma Administrator Edma District Assembly Common Fund no na wode abetudwa wo chese sansem we wode kwama eye Metropolitan Municipal ana District Assemblies ahodo a eye staffs ahodo a yeyiyo mu ewo my Ghana wo chese sesi a eye sade breakers we ebe kwama na yade a wo bebo ne homodin ye pa na investment bi a wo mu hia no waye ede aboa won ewo kosa wo chese eno eda na koma so a wo behwe na saade we na waye ede amom na eno anna mrahye bedwane a wo wogina edema de hye ya wo mo ewo pusiga eye hajia Ladi Yamba wono so edi abetudwa neni agiye papa wochim se sasem we ya wode abetudwe ade akana kuma neni age ho no hwe anim se sa ne bohye kese we ya wode akwa amom no ade obehwe na wadu so na waye ninia edi amom se ne be ya obibia eni ebetimi age ehosan sem we eye Maame Hajia Ladi Yamba wono anode tudwa.
We will invest in upskilling MMDAs and the technical people there, so that hopefully one day soon, we too can see our districts being entrusted with a third of the national budget. Thank you.
Any further question?
Mr. Chairman, from this response, I would say I'm good to go, and congratulations. You see, this bye-bye, you would have to pay for it too. I'll have to register it. So I would say I'm very grateful. Congratulations and bye-bye.
Yeah. Members, why are you forcing Hajia to say bye-bye?
Ebusiafo nsem we ana omudi tudwa ewo saide mo ekonsem fufom dia eye majority leader odmonyamfo Mahama Yariga anode abetudwa wochim se mrashebedwafo a wo mo ewo mrashebedwa fie a wo mo pension no ana ochim se saade no betimi abemu amoma ewo se Ghana wo mutimi bom homodin ebo adwuma ye papa na nnuane ade no womo edua dodo na ewo my Ghana se ne be ya ebetimi aboa ma Ghana climate change no etimi ejina ne nan so edi amaye nsem we Mahama Ayariga wono ana wode etudwa.
There is a forest standing there. Mr. Speaker, we can also involve members of parliament to get every member of parliament to get a space in his or her constituency that can be designated for tree planting. And resources can be made available, and on an annual basis, we will plant trees, and in 4 years, we'll go and ask them to account. Mr. Speaker, when we organize ourselves and know the specific location, the acreage, and how much money was spent, accountability is easy. But if we just organize big ceremonies with siblings and distribute and share, others will plant, others may not plant. Those who may plant may not have the time to follow up and nurture those trees to go. And yet this state would have spent enormous money following a commitment but not realizing it. So, Mr. Speaker, I urge a paradigm shift in order to transform it into charcoal and use, as energy. So let's look at the demand side and let's look for alternatives and invest in the alternatives so that we can push down the demand for those products, and that's how you protect the forest. When you kill the demand for it, when you kill the demand for a product, you protect the products. So we must invest in those alternatives. Mr. Speaker, on that note, let me thank the Minister for coming. Let me assure him that as many MPs as may be available will make time to join him on this auspicious occasion when he's marking the International Day of Forest, and to support him. And this House will continue to support him, given that we will soon be passing a legislation regulating carbon trading, and the pension of MPs will depend on how many trees we protect, how many trees we plant. We believe that our pensions will now be tied to the protection of trees and forests in this country. And when we tie the pensions of members of parliament to how many trees are in the country and how much carbon is available to trade.
Adeshimamba nsem we ana majority leader odmonyamfo Mahama Ayariga wodi tudwa ewo mashibedwa fie yede mo consent fufom dia ankane woso afo ana wogina edimade hye ya wo ewo domeko abenya eye na wo san ogina de ma de hye ya wo ewo domeko abenya Maame Adwo Asafo na wono ana sesi ade wodi nsem bi abetu dwa wo chem sesi asa ade brewe efini sa ewo do me kwa benya no enya ade a wono adwo asafo wo besan egina ede amakwa benya biom sa seat no we jemu ede ama wo mu asesi a wo mu age no no adwo asafo de do me kwa benya akonwa no enya ade a wo besan egina biom de biara dan nsem we adwo asafo ana wode etudwa.
I've been asked many times on this issue. What I would say is, considering what I've been through, considering how I've been treated in the constituency, despite my devotion, despite my sacrifices, despite my hard work, how I've been treated, I don't think so. I won't.
You won't contest the constituency again?
It would take my father to change my mind. I won't. I have done 12 years. I have done 12 solid years, and I've left a good legacy in the constituency. I will not contest Domi Kwabenya. I'm moving forward. I'm looking at other bigger things.
Like what? The presidency?
One day, not now. Yes. I'm looking at speakership, yes. I'm looking at
running mate, the presidency itself. Running mate.
Oh, well, the thing is,
Professor Jane has opened the door. So
exactly. I'm looking at higher challenging opportunities.
Ebusia for ye demo consent from the Igusa ewa Jasa for ensem no emu na the New Patriotic Party miche NPP amenu kono womo de abetu yomo HM says de ankane member Minister of State Sarah Adjasafo womo de ni kopimu ewa disciplinary committee enim womo chere se Adjasafo ebu NPP for emra eso womo chere se nsembia na secret edima NPP amenu kono sesi ade Adjasafo aba montnimo ede sansem ni nia abetu dwane no anenam soma NPP amenu kono esi gina ya womo chemu se sansem Adjasafo ede aba montim ensem a ewo NPP amenu kono nko entem enye nsem bia na wo senka okotena ye TV eso anase abe fontentam fidie so na ode sansem ni nia etudwa mama sen na etibi eno anenam soma sesi ade NPP amenu kono esi gina ya womo chese wo party disciplinary committee no womo de Adjasafo ekopie enim se ne be ya wetimi ekoyi ne ho ano e de afa nsem ba ko mienu ehun nsem a na se nienti a enam so ema ne kotena TV eso ekokeka nsem ne nianu na Adjasafo ankasa aba na we beyi na no e de afa nsem no esanse se wo NPP amenu ekonimu a ensem bi ene noma bi wo ho a party ne mpe ana womo e wo se omutimi ete sa ensoso na wo NDC amenu ekonimu a noma bi e wo ho a party members ne pene wo se omutimi ehu na asesi ade abeto dwase Adjasafo NPP amenu kono womo noma bi anenke wo se party ne pe ehu no Adjasafo e de abeto dwa obi bia atibi eno ana party echemu se dabi womo nyane sa e wo se Adjasafo etimi ebeyi na no e de fa sansem no ehu eno ti se ade NPP amenu kono gina ikese pa anomosi a womo de Adjasafo ekopie mu e wo mo party disciplinary committee no enim se ne be ya wo betimi ebeyi na no e de afa sansem no ehu eno nti se si ade NPP amenu kono wo mo gina esi a womo esi no ebusuafo ye gina sansem no so na etwa ye ho akogye aboafo nkrato abaye ba ye beto ansem ne so e de ama.
Medogbena mi Ghana duko do ajakle ho duko kata. Mi echo nyanyu ade vena mi cho Talent Microfinance Limited Gajadopa. Mi wona susu savings, adishare, school buafo, cashback, ple bubwa okata. Nenyebe egajom de mi agbo la letie tomegbeko ateun aho gadodo. Kenenyebe egajom vivi la nenyebe o gahia ola ateun ava de ogai kene hia fa.
Tanebe mi foncho mi afa jongu yo kenye mi afa gado do nyawa. Business loan elemiashi, church financing elemiashi, salary loan elemiashi, eye bubo li kenye personal loan. Nenebe mi foncho business loan enye gado do ikemie nana asichalao. Nenebe washiba keke, alum eleswe, we have talent. Mi pepe gede nwo nenye wo shigba lesu ya ne woge wo keke gede ji to talent po monu ome nenye be mi fonchu mi afa salary loan enye gado mo mi ke mi vuna mi afa jidudu dola nke ga nyu he ya va talent wo pay slip pe bank statement ye kwenye nwi hia o na koko ho salary loan le rate mi to keke akeji church financier personal loan va nenye habobo masoli hama eji vufofo sankuo jitao olila ashibobwe kekeake mia flegeno na no hem v choji nto jinwade vare koreka mon popo kai ganyu heya talent kuna po heya ole chagbagba na do tare talent bena wo gado monwa anobobwe nami akpenami
etibe ya nyafi ke talent la
talent microfinance jengo ameganshpe ape letina tejipo hotame
miape kapomo enya 050-129-1298 alo 050-128-9119 talent oga kwamanu banto
Talent Microfinance, your channel of wealth.
Are you a musician, church, band, school, or an audio engineer looking for professional audio equipment for your work? Don't worry. KFM Music Center has all the equipment and instruments you need. We have from drums, keyboards, combos, guitars, microphones, PA systems, brass instruments, studio equipment, lighting systems, among others. We import all kinds of electronics and musical instruments from top brands such as American GLS, Behringer, Sabian, Yoga, M Audio, Nutric, Tama, among others. You can locate KFM Music Center at Zongo Lane between the Benjilo Building and the Children's Hospital. You can contact us on the numbers displayed on your screen. KFM Music Center, where quality costs less.
For your demo air coins and from my gusa and mama kwaba say no pay majibre KFM TV news because so I will say an open see a trego away abe fontin tam video so Facebook and YouTube KFM TV JH and until bet me alcohol now akoshebi no share no like now the wadrenche no and so de guase am I kama yet one semne so a day ama dia a legislative instrument I will more machebejafie edbetu dwa no moche muse was a Mampeni John Dramani Mahama a year forestry mining no wotimi emma ho licenses and beya wo metimi abom homodin aye ni ye no maye no kwan paso se ne beya ense enoma bi e wo my Ghana ha na no ana beto dwa mo eche mu se eye 2462 a year legislative instruments for no ana o magisade we atuma sisi ade wo modesa apewe akoto mashebedwafia wo mo hwe nim se Mampeni John Dramani Mahama ebetimi age atum yenti ensem bia wo mo ede etudwa.
Society organizations have been calling on us to make sure that we help protect the environment. And we as a house were highly concerned when the matter came out that this particular house went ahead to pass that law. We were under serious critique by the public. And as legislators, when we are here making laws, regulatory impact assessment shows that you must open the window to see the impact of the laws you are passing here on the people. If Ghanaians are saying that the law that we pass here is negatively impacting on our forests, and I could see the cry of the Honorable Minister for Lands and Forestry, Honorable Amako Febua, that 44 of the 44 forest reserves that we have, even none of them were almost gone. So I think we wouldn't want it to be said that it's because of, excuse me, the contribution of this house, the law that we passed, that's why our forest reserves are all going. We always take part in the tree planting exercise. The Green Ghana Day, we all take part. But you cannot be passing law for destruction of forests and taking part in tree planting. So I think that this amendment will go a long way to help the image. The revocation will go a long way to help the image of this house.
Wanunti same way anamudi tujwa ewo mashebedwa fie yede mo etwa akonsem for sodium Sam Nat Kivu oye chairman Edema Union Edema ewo Ghana Broadcasting Corporation GBC now no anode abetujwa wo chim se Wamo enya nkrata any complaints ahodo na efa management a womo ewo ho womo echim se womo crew members no senia ekwan a wom fa so a womo treat omo no eno enye kwan pa na eno ananat Sam Nat abetudwa wo chim se sesi ade womo ankasa enya complaints any nkrata ahodo echese ampasa asem a womo kanon nukre ewo mi nsem we Ghana Broadcasting Corporation GBC impenifo womo anomodi tudwa
came up with an idea. First, the team of 3rd March 2024 before the official opening ceremony on the 8th March 2024. We recall that Ghana had one of its worst heat waves during the tournament. The union got information about the inhuman treatment meted out to our technical crew and production team by management. On the 15th of March 2024, Friday morning, the entire production and the technical crew convened at the union office with the announcement of a boycott of the coverage of the games. The union executive then quickly reached out to our Director General, Professor Amir Hassan, and his management while they were having a meeting in the boardroom. Upon reaching the corridor of the boardroom, the production team waited while information was sent to the DG. The DG came out with sweeping anger at the union executive for gate crashing. The executive remained calm. The DG was asked whether there was a contract between the GBC and the government through the Ministry of Youth and Sports. DG flatly said, no, those of you who are the crew members that day. But I can say it on authority that at the time we were asking that question, the fact that I was carrying and asking the question, we had a copy of the contract. We had that copy on the 16th of February 2024, while the contract was signed on the 15th of February 2024. So a month when our colleagues were facing these difficulties, we asked our management led by DG whether there was a contract. He said no. We left it there. Still, organizational image. So we kept quiet, corresponding to have the issue addressed internally. Godspeed for the workers who one nearly died during the tournament. Because he fainted at the Lagos campus, the Lagos Center. Then the management then extended extensive force on this. Then management wrote back to the union. So we started negotiation. The management came up with an idea. First, the team.
Ana GBC penny for editudja sayedemo consent for modia edemu kopiem Asante Achem praso Asante Achem South Municipality Asante Mantem na maneba efi ho bane so mu chem se insuo kase bi ato ho eno enam so ema school dan asori dan ene dan bese 16 eno mo chese wo mo assembly member no ne dan enso ka ho aninia so pass se ade wo mo penny for say one more enkom mo na sade we ato mo no eyade a womore ahoye papa na nsem we eye nkoda ene amanfo ye a womo ewo mpotem ho no womo ena womo de nsem we etudwa womo se Ghana mpenifo se sisi ade womo enko womo emoa
isu atama roofing sheet ni na ye fu so nti de o se e ban se o meboa yen ntimi nye so ye na omrain books ye books na say when you say aban say o meboa yen na canteen building so ni na say
mami afuarfo afie ipatro mframa ne fae no apa ye dan ni nyina so ama ye ne ma nyina say ye sika eda ho nyina nsuo sika ne me ankasa me sika misusu sika nyina asai ye kohwe afo uso mani nyina atete nti yesrew aba meboa ye de ye ene kura nsuo san to a ye nya
ipatro ba bia tutu ye ha ne ye twoba ye didi wo ha bibia correct afa me ba ya ha nyina tutu eti aba meboa ma enya yie ti yesre mu ala aba mram
ya wo ho ana ehun se nsuo frama ehu kakra fe dem frama ehu a enyina wura dem a ebi hu ase nsuo so ajagu ye bi hu ase ye dan kim ye kwa de enim se ye dan nabu se ne fie so a wo ye side atu abegu ye dan no so ama ye dan ni nyina so atu tinu aba bi kura ye nya ba bi ana ene ye ne ma nyina egu abo mama aba yi so de omo aye on fanto na do nim se ne na do mu so ma ba ama bi hu a
nti womode womo nsem ebewie no ana assembly member owo eye dasia dadieso electoral area eye honorable Daniel Ntiamwa wono so editu dwa wo chem se side we see wo hoi enye school dan ene asori dan kwa na eso epan ne mum eye electrical post ahodo wo hon dodo na enso ebubu ya eno so abetoto for ma mo strempeni forces sisi ade wo muntimi enko mo na side we see e ade a ha mo ye pan semwe assembly member eye onmonyafo Daniel Ntiamwa wono anso anoditu dwa
Pino ngotwe kono Nkrumah ho nso bi to asante achempra so ema na meme dan so atu mi guso boabo ame ne ma no na menya ko se light post bi ebubu wo KJT aho nje ma me bo anamo eko ho ko he nti me ko ne light post be 9 na ebubu ewo ho na efie ni bi nso eso atutututu ama fie ba ko ebe no kra de so nyina atu nti me ko ye no nso no me free electricity for ama na dwono amuso bae ebe yi wo yes na agu kwa mu ho no nti ewie no ye ba fie dade echi ye na ye kofofa mu na chese efie be du nkro de omho aka bi niema no asese no na de enye asamkide nti ye esra ne se they say no yankrofo a hotire mu pa bi o ha samri ba bi obeda kra ne se ne nso ne bi o kra ne niema nyina asei nti esre aban ne mpanifo eka biom se omumra no memmoa issue Asante Regional Minister.
Emra Assembly member Edin Nsem Ebewie no anna National Disaster Management Organization NADMO for ensaid betu dwamoche se sa wo made se de amudi atom anim e ade a wo mo so mehwe no mo di ho dwuma wo mo be fa Ghana ban emu ani Ghana man pani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama eso no mo hwe no mo siesie bibia e de ama wonsem we NADMO for enso enedi tudwa
Pensu di Mr. Awa yewo enade susun Aisha Asante Achim South Municipal ase enra enumre be se 9 and assembly member wo ase press atulente masi ama edan bebre maka nadmo e ba be assessment sisi e nya dan makoma 19 eso akopapa ebi eye akese ebi nso ye hempetwa school enso preparatory school ba ko eka ho na enso ankra so nso bienu enso apostolic church nso ba ko ani nyina aka atulente ma eka ni nyina bomu a edan makoma 16 na asi wo Asante Achempra so ahasi peno dwumadie no ɛyɛ ahorow mmiɛnsa nti ansa na yɛba bi
ebusuafo nsɛm we ananad mpanyinfoɔ nso de etu dwa yɛde mu kɔnsɛn fifom de yɛde mu kɔpie mu ɛwɔ bɔkɔ ɛne ne mpɔtam na ɛyɛ minister of state saa de ma public sector reforms ɛyɛ Lydia Lamisi Akan Variba wɔno ana wɔde abetu dwa wɔbɛkasa etia ɛyɛ military personnel kɔpie mu ɛwɔ bɔkɔ ɛne ne mpɔtam a ɛyɛ mentemi ho ase ɛkɔso a no wɔ mu fa so ɛne timamufo ɛwɔ hɔ no ɛyɛ basabasa no ɛno ana maame ɛde abetu dwa wɔ kyem sɛ saa deɛ no ɛnya ade a etwa yie sɛ wɔ mo hwɛ sɛ asomdwe ma pa ebetimi epie mu ɛwɔ bɔkɔ ne ne mpɔtam deɛ a ɛnya ade sɛ anasɛ ɛnya ade pa sɛ ɛyɛ asogyafo hɔ ɛnso ebetimi ahwɛ ama wɔ mo ne ɛyɛ timamufo no enya ntɔkwa na mo hwɛ sɛ wɔ march bosome ne da ɛtɔ so du nwɔtwe ɛwɔ afimpinu ni eduonu enum emu ana ɛyɛ military personnel say ene timamufo a wɔn ɛwɔ bɔkɔ ne ne mpɔtam enya ɛyɛ akasakasa ɛne ɛbro deɛ ebi ɛbɛ mu yie papaapa ɛno ana maame Lydia Lamisi abɛkasa fa wɔkyem sɛ ɛno ɛyɛ adeɛ bi a ntwa yie koraa sɛ wɔn mutimi ɛde bibisa egu kwan mu a ɛno wabɛkasa ti a wɔhwɛ nim sɛ ɛyɛ bɔkɔ ɛne ne mpɔtam saa mentimi ho ase a ɛkɔ so hɔ no wɔn bɛhwɛ na bibibia etu ɛde twa ɛde ama amafo yi a wɔn ɛwɔ bɔkɔ no nti nsɛm wei maame Lydia Lamisi wɔno ana wɔde abetu dwa ɛwɔ hɔ sɛ busuafo yɛde mo ɛkɔ nsɛm fufuo mu anopedia ɛyɛ minister ɛdema youth development ana ɛyɛ empowerment George Opare Ado wɔno ana ɔde abetu dwa ɛyɛ nsɛm keka ɛkɔ so a ɛfa ɛyɛ YEA Malik Basintali ene ne nkɔfo ho wo kyerɛ sɛ sansɛm no no kra bia enim ti sansɛm a wo ka no wo mo hwɛ na wo mo enja
because it's a new ministry the transition is not always smooth. These agencies have sat within some ministries.
Yes.
For instance, the YEA over the years have sat at the Ministry of Employment Labor Relations. Zulonze 2 days ago Ministry of Labor launched a program, the Work Abroad program, and the YEA was there.
Not YEA.
This program precedes into office. So I saw some commentary, and I was saying Pablo who be and then he's been
and I said Pablo, you invited on.
It's not true.
Okay.
And let me put that issue to rest.
Okay.
The Minister for Labor duly informed me.
Okay.
Asana offer Malik offer YEA. So he informed me that this is a program, and you see, labor does not only involve young people.
Yes.
Labor is broad.
Yes, broad.
And because young people are the working class, those of working class, when they signed the arrangement with GIZ, it was before the elections.
Yes.
Now, youth development and empowerment. So the funding and everything and all the arrangements was done with the Ministry of Labor.
Okay.
So when he called me and told me, he said, this program is there. And YEA used to sit with the Ministry of Labor and Employment.
Yes.
Yes. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Sure.
So there were people from my ministry who were there. YEA effectively represented the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment. And so if George Opare and two ministers cannot be sharing the same platform. And so if it's a labor issue and you see the labor minister there. And YEA was there. YEA was there to represent the Ministry of Youth. There is no bad blood between Malik and I. That morning, the Kramenini shared or bring me full brief of the program, and I okayed it.
Additional by the more free science, the more copy more addition and same a minister Edema Education on for Haruna Idris Wono and our didn't say me abetuja. What the boss shake say, Kwamagana for in I watch him say, Man Penny John Dramani Mahama, and yen and so I didn't say. Wobema free SHS no etimi ejina nkwa ediama nemu woba abehye kina ye papa se ne be ya no ma bia anko ye wo mu kane no wobehye kina ama sisi ade etimi akoye ediama wo che se nani so ade ho se free SHS any Ghana education sector no wobebo ne ho modern aboa ama netimi ejina ne nai so ediama ye se ne be ya obibia ebetimi akase mra mampeni John Dramani Mahama betina so Ghana education system no etimi ekọ nenim ye papa edemaye same way eye Haruna Idrisu wono ana ogina mampeni John Dramani Mahama name edin same way na etudwa.
The National Education Forum, where we had over 5,000 stakeholders participate in it, and they have raised critical questions. Some of the findings and recommendations of the Education Committee, Mr. Speaker, I'll bring back to this August House. For instance, free senior high school.
Why must every student pass? You have a system where when you do educational assessment, maybe you have aggregate 25, you have aggregate 30, you have aggregate 35. It makes no distinction as to respecting assessment. Everybody passes. The train is on, and the train is on so long as you are entering free senior high school. So stakeholders have raised the question of what our colleagues in government did was to expand the definition of free compulsory universal basic education to include free senior high school. That is your new definition of it. Go to the Constitution. The Constitution defines free compulsory universal basic education. And Mr. Speaker, universally, everywhere in the world, basic education is preschool, kindergarten to primary school to junior high school. Only Ghana had the novelty. Yes, it has an advantage. You are producing a literate population. But questions have been asked whether we should not establish an educational trust fund and provide that those who can pay, and those who cannot pay, through a means test, you can determine it. But to assure the country, Mr. Speaker, that we work to improve.
Ebusuafo ye gina Haruna Idrisu nsemi so na etwa ye hosima abaye ba ye de moko edwedie ensem emu. Ebusuafo ye de mo eko edwedie ensem dia eye mahebedwane a owo efijai kwabre north eye olmonyafo Collins adomakon wono ana wode nsem bi abetudwa wode kwama energy minister olmonyafo eye John Abdullahi Jenapwa wochemu se eye kumasi dum so a ekoso eho no wonfa eye solution ene enoma bi ebetimi ahwe ama saa dum so a ekoso ewa sentimentem no eto etimi etwa wonfa saa noma ne mbra na eno pe na ye ade ebetimi achese ane dum se na wochemu se emaye no eye no krese emaye na sesi ade wontimi anyesa na chese sentimentem de okopiem eho a dum so kese pa ana esi ewo ho ensem we eye mahebedwane a owo efijai kwabili north wono ana wode etudwa. Ya de mo eko ensem foforo mu ewedwade ensem dia eye osoafo awo no ana hwe yisika semse wo my Ghana honmonyamfo kesel atofosen wono ana wodi abetudwa wo chem sesesi a wabeye osoafo no ana hwe yisika semse wo my Ghana ha yade a wo hye banks ahodo a wo mo ewo man wo hye mo bo se yade a wo beboa na wabone homode ama Ghana yisika sem no etimi ejina ne nan so ye papa no chem se eye wo 2022 mu no Ghana yisika sem ana enkoye ni se si a wo no abetena so de enya ade obema sanfom so na esi ankane no asan esi biom wo bebone homoden ahwe ama Ghana sika sem ene ye banks ahodo no etimi ejina ne nan so ye papa no de nsem we etudwa mra wo management no ene eye managing directors ahodo a wo mo ewo Ghana ye banks ahodo mo mu hia no eho ana Dr. Kesel atofosin wo de sansem we na etudwa wo chem se wo bebo ne homoden ama Ghana esikasem akonenim na eye katahye ene proye ahodo a ekoso no ninia eto etimi etwa ede amayen semwe eye Dr. Kesel atofosin wono ana wode etudwa ewo hosa yegina we so na ya dane ehosima abaye ba ye de mobekọ edwe enigedi ensem emu. media Robert Kla head of communication and a public event at the Machata House no and our day abetudwa watch him nentia Kojo Black nenyom excellence no womuyi free Telecel Ghana Music Award 2025 day ni mono categories no womotimi no efrim na ochemu se nentia womotimi yi ni film oche senche bia na Kelvin Boy edin sembi ebetudwa efa ne hono muchem se na enyom no na qualify sex categories no wo betimi edi aka we sanse noma ene akade bia na wo hia wo nwum no ebetimi qualify no na wo mode no aka Telecel Ghana Music Award jumedie no ene categories no hono wo mo entimi amfa no anka ho enu nti anasesi ade wo mo echemu se ninia no sansem no wo mo ahwe ninia ene sa no man wo mo hwe ninia ansa wo mo ede anase wo mo yi na enyum no free category no emu nti head edema communication and a public event edema Charter House production Robert Kla wono ana wo disansem we na abetudwa ewo hosa efa sanyum tuni na enyum excellent no ehum enu nti Robert Kla wono so ne nsem a wode abetudwa efa enigede nsem ehun yeguso a ewo ne nsem ne mu dia abetudwa se Telecel Ghana Music Award jumedie no 2025 de no Ghana nyum to kuo ba kwa wo mbom homodin wo Ghana ha ye papa ba na nyum to mu a meche Dope Nation wo mo mu se afiwe de no wo mo file nomination a wo mudin eni nomination ni ni abi emu na no ana head of public head of communications the ma public event the ma Charter House production Robert Kla wo de abetudwa wo chemu nti a Dope Nation for one more entimi and filing nomination ama Telecel Ghana Music Award di ho na wone nsem chofo atwetwe nkomo no eho ana wo mudi tudwa wo mo chemu se Dope Nation wo mo enyum hit song zomezo no wo mo chemu se na eno nyum bia ekonenim ye papa na wo mo bom homodin se anka afiwe nyum no wo metimi abom homodin aba nka zomezo nyum no betimi edunenim ye papa nemu wo mo file nomination ama Telecel Ghana Music Award jumedie 2025 no wo mo ntimi file nomination fama enu nti Dope Nation wo mo so wo mo nsema anope abetudwa yedomo esuko edemamo enu no ebusuafo ye gina enigede nsemi so na anopa news no yedninia abewie ede amamuna anope nsem no de di mo akotini ebi enese forestry mining no eno ana abetudwa wo mo chemu se legislative instrument a wo mo ewo my Ghana ha chemu se Mampeni John Dramani Mahama wo se otimi hwe no ma licenses na mining no wo mo ewo my Ghana ha sa enso so ana Mahama Ayarega wono so abetu nsembi abetudwa efa mahebedwafo ho efa wo pension scheme no eho yede mu ensem ebrewo anope yede adwade ensem ebrewo finance minister Dr. Kesel Atuforsen ensechum se wo bebɔ ne homode ama Ghana esikasem akoso ene banks ahodo mo my Ghana ha no wo mo etimi abo ejuma ye papa ede amaye wani jede ensem no so Dope Nation ana abetudwa se Telecel Ghana Music Award jumedie 2025 no wo mo file nomination fama weni nsem ene afufuro pi anope yebo ano ayede ebesomo se KFM TV News asida kese confirma KFM Musical Center se ope instrument papa ato bo ewo wujumedie bi ase anase wa sorry no memfa wani ntwe bebi ase KFM Musical Center wo mo pe ana wo mo ewo no mapa edema sa enso ana talent microfinance ope sika krabia ba akopa obetimi esie usika wo ho ma wasum adwo na oda obeda no talent microfinance nkwa na obetimi eni omudi dwuma ewo ho sa o ya nkwankwa dwumiko ana sa oton ade mpo no fa oni echem talent microfinance no mo pe ana wo mo ewo nhihye pa ebetimi abo ma wo sikasem etimi ejina ne nan so ye papa ede amodada batek hub enso se ope Infinix iPhone Tecno Samsung iPhone Yam nini anu wudi weni echem ewo dada batek hub ade a obenya bi ewo ho Wamo boni so de eda fomboko ede ma wano pay. Wamo tonsa ede afro sebra na oni omumbe ye juma ewo hosa. Jume kwa we ana no pay wumutimi boy chido ma KFM TV News no ye de ebro asida kese enkoma wa utifi adade nyina Udi we fidie no eto KFM na wohwe ye news ye da mu ina ase ye besan ada production team ni na ase sa no pay wo mo so mo timi boy ma news etimi edi mo ano pay edin ami jeso eni Maame Esi Nkrumah ye da mu ina ase se mo je bre ehwe news ya kram